Good evening, everybody. Let's murder this thing. Yeah? Yeah. I kind of wouldn't want to switch back to Auntie's Choice. Anyways.
And I'll take care of him, Commander.
Lift me up. I'd do it for you. In business.
I'm the one you need to worry about. Don't mind me. Commander, watch your vitals.
Back in business.
Appreciate a little help, Commander. Knew you had my back. Can't have our fearless leader firing on empty. Let's get to crack.
Yeah, we got a mag pick back. That's good. How did I get hurt by Xanthium? I'm so glad there's not another collect magazines here. Thank God. I say that because I feel like I would have found a magazine here. This would have been a pretty good place for one. Dude, this music is
This melodious little
so
ditty
good.
was dedicated to novice Gertrude Powell. Your anonymous admirer is taking great interest in your figure work and projections.
That's what I forgot. I completely forgot to turn on cheats. I mean, like, obviously I don't need it. It doesn't really change anything. I was like, why am I running out of ammo? I noticed that, and I was like, wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. Why am I running out of ammo?
Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Okay.
The color of space. A
What are these, heavy rounds?
When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otisgard replied, with no hesitation, beige.
Oh boy. Okay, so we just can't use heavy round guns anymore.
Lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the
Short rounds.
listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is...
I mean, I already started exploring this area. I might as well just explore all of it, you know?
Ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emissions.
Time to earn my commission.
Non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its
Going out of sight. Ready to wait. On your command.
All charged up.
Your insides are leaking outside, Commander.
Radiation.
Trap doesn't set the target.
This thing's got a mean freak. Pop it like claw.
Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared.
Okay, this chain lightning gun just killed everybody over there. I love it.
Which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Otisgard, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology of the Otisgard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige.
What was that?
More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until you achieve ascension.
How did that not trigger?
Here to impart a message of significant value, conveyed to me by Alexandra Monastery's most trusted conjecturer, Seer Riley. To all those tossed hither and thither by war's perilous fluctuations, the Order invites you to seek stability and shelter in Matriarch's mercy. While lean accommodations do persist, the effort to improve conditions is being spearheaded by Administrator Agarwal, who I have been reliably informed has everything well in hand. I humbly return you now to the previously scheduled program. This is Abbot Newell of Alexandra Monastery, signing off. How was that one?
Yeah, I think we're gonna draw a line.
What? It's still recording?
We can't be just going around and exploring like this. We're not gonna ever finish anything. And we're gonna get lost.
Continuing as predetermined. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
We were once two separate boys. We had no connection till the end of the
Nothing in here? Ooh, okay. There is one of those. I mean, I cheated to get infinite of them, but you know, it's still cool to find one.
when we were parallel lines, traveling into infinity, never to meet, yet in such close proximity.
Liquidate 'em.
No, God!
How are you still upright over this?
I shall share with you now my heart's complex equation.
Lockpick, engineering, hacking. I don't think I'm gonna need medical. You didn't get anything new.
X squared plus y squared minus 1 to the power of 3.
All weapon have. Okay, let's get that. Okay, I was like, I thought it said 50%, and yet you only get 15. That does not compute.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless, Verify before we
All right,
amplify.
I fully explore that. It's about to get nighttime.
Average scienticians acknowledge the value of canter dust.
The uncountably best salt substitute from the Order of the Ascendant.
Okay, so that entire area is a dead end unless we go this way.
To confer to colleagues at break time,
I kind of want to install the mod that just display the actual map instead of whatever the freak this is. Like places you can go and places you can't go.
One thing that you have to know, irrationality is good for the workflow. How can that be? How can that be? Infinite, a measure of mystery.
This is really pretty.
To logic say symmetry. How can that be? How can that be? Irrationality.
Stranger, the order bids you welcome, but also warnings. In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Well, I'm gonna be sick.
What was that attack?
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end.
Ceasefire?
Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken.
Well, it weren't our artillery that made that strike. I can tell you that much.
They must have done something to provoke an attack. Which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's Mercy.
Why is that? What else is going on around here?
The Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack.
What kind of zealots are out there?
Cultists, mad to the last one. I believe they worship the rifts or some such. People will turn to anything to ease their discomfort during times of crisis, I suppose.
What were you saying about scavengers?
They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence. They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes. There are several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance.
I have to ask about the creatures.
The creatures are of the genus Verachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
Okay, thank you.
May all your endeavors elicit expected results.
Auntie's Choice convert over the leg.
Oh, always eager to cover old ground for a new student.
I don't see anything else coming.
Reason for
Was it just the one?
course was the Protectorate's abandonment of reason. Or more specifically, their warping of the Matriarch's vision. Idealism rooted in scientism. Them Archbishop Ruth Bassar recognized this early. Empirical evidence was copious. We parted ways with the Protectorate just as Auntie's Choice began their invasion of Arcadia. An invasion we predicted, yet it took our Protectorate colleagues by surprise. Clear proof the Sovereign had lost sight of the grand plan, that he'd become encumbered by delusions of godhood, distracted by grief, obsessed with the rifts. He failed to foresee the real threat of corporate incursion, while his consul increased the browbeating of their subjects into ideological submission. Without the guidance of the grand plan and the matriarch's original vision, the Protectorate was lost. We did not abandon them. They abandoned the plan.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper.
Yeah, using the road to segment stuff is actually a really good idea.
Think they'll notice if we jump the queue?
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations.
I'm not a refugee. I'm here on the order of Ruth.
Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger.
What is an exclusion zone?
I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out.
You people sure take predictions seriously.
Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts.
I thought refugee encampment were supposed to be safe.
Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here.
Is there rule number 3?
Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
Arcadia shall ever return to how it was.
I wish.
I can't give you money.
Water defecting? There's no putting this brat back into the camp.
Worcester is looking pretty good right about now.
Wasteland devoid of life?
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance.
That doesn't seem right unless you're the sickest person alive.
Well, that is the idea. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence.
I know for a fact not all of those are real.
What are you, a doctor? Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one.
What do you make of the situation around camp?
I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends.
Alright, feel better.
You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorical.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Algorithm.
Axiom denatured
And then we solve for the... Ah, apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something?
You will usually perform advanced calculation in the midst of a busy settlement?
Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations.
So you're just mathing out here in public so passerbys can watch you math?
I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions.
Bet the other 10% of the time they're asking you if they can use the space.
I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there.
Most people need more of the medicine and water to be happy.
We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
Law. Haven't seen this many folks crammed together since recalled libations night at the Thruster. Smells about the same,
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
Broke my nose last scrap. I guess Raleigh Dortmund. I still don't get any of this. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
He says the matter is settled. The matter is settled.
Okay, no need to get sore or nothing. I don't think it works like that, but I ain't gotta be right. I don't get paid to, speculate. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... what does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borstloaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Our starting zen function Fn
Hey.
minus 1 plus the Fn minus 2 in all cases that we know, starting where n
What
is
caused
zero.
the schism between the Protectorate?
Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere.
What if I promise not to take too much of your time?
Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment.
You seem fairly in the know. What's the situation around here?
Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail.
You haven't actually told me anything about the situation here.
Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle.
You think people here listen?
Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions. The paradigm is a self-centered derivative take on the grand plan. That's how little the Protectorate respects your intellect.
Define the recurrence relation. Get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum.
Shane, what happened there? I seen the whole thing.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. All pay heed and take warning. Recent reports note a sporadic outbreak of belligerent zealots.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be.
My health was never in question, but anyone inside must have been gravely injured.
Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former aunties like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down.
So a bunch of displaced have been hurt doing this?
Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes.
The Order is doing best with what they have on hand.
They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
Good day and welcome again to
You always want more. More. Isn't enough. When someone extends a hand, you want their arm and leg as well. So ridiculous.
My name is Edmund Vandersmith, and I am the senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic?
Have you come to bask in
Consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for
what happened to this place?
New to the Order.
Matriarch's Mercy
I will start by
We're not going anywhere. Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom.
Also been called redundant several times.
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me.
Then a prime is any number in the set N2 that
Earth
is not
Directorate
itself
Bill,
product
and you are?
May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import.
Wait, you ask? What are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers?
A helpful tofu maker is a noble calling.
Though, admittedly, it's a difficult way to make friends. The Order's not exactly fond of me. Rabble-rousing doesn't align with their vision of a perfect universe. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me.
What was it you mentioned about this zone?
The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people. Displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them.
The Order prediction must have been especially foreboding.
Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck.
What makes you think the administration will listen to me?
Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options.
And dare I say,
Being former Auntie's Choice, you'll understand if I ask out a reward.
I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles.
I'll give it a try.
Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
For those of you away in the field or heads down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following rescreening of Vicar Magsaysay's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts were first.
Where do we go now?
I don't want to go in that building yet.
Another colony? My noggin sure is so.
The lamp's lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
Source for all recognized inhabitants of the system. But it's not without.
No time to chinwag. More than a mite busy.
Efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile.
You got business? No? Move on.
To organic material, but in its crystal state, it's
I help an agent of yours in Fairfield. She promised I would find friends in the Sub-Rosa.
You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in.
Thank you.
Refinement and processing, from the harvesting of liquid Zeranium to grinding of crystals for higher yield. Now, Zeranium powers everything from laboratories.
Hello, hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub-Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband.
If your wares are so good, why are you operating out of the refugee camp?
It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub-Rosa delivers at only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling!
You got some guts. I admire that.
Why, I thank you. Takes a unique sort to appreciate the finer points of illegal smuggling.
Where does the Subzora stand in the war?
We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Auntie's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry.
All right, show me your wares.
Feast thine eyes on the merchandise.
Ooh. Incoming damage may change defense mode. Light damage, deal less than 10% of max health. Enable plus 10 damage resistance. Heavy damage, exceeding 10% of max health. Enable 30% evasion chance. That's pretty good. Plasma beam caster.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention.
Tell me about this quasi-illicit shenanigan of yours.
Oh, a semi-informed customer. Well, we offer a wide array of proxy altercations, from restrained bludgeoning to flat-out scraps. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy.
So they fight using stand-ins? What does that resolve?
Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly?
I came to ask about the situation at camp, but you just answered my question.
Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilists, and a sick canid to feed. Go on, get out of here. Scram.
Where's your sick canid? I'll give you money for it. To heal it, I mean, I don't want it.
No apology needed. Obviously, this supplier
Look, your nose was just a stand for going.
Poor soul doesn't seem to be living the ideal life to
Oh.
their propaganda.
Oh, how do I get up there? Oh.
Another refugee camp? Another colony?
Oh, a visitor. Without notice.
Sadly, the Protectorate's befuddled masses are convinced we rejected them in their hour of need, when plundersome corporatists raved at their gates. I gently informed them that they, in fact, abandoned us in Golden Ridge, leaving us to fend against the corporatist tide and tend to Protectorate refugees.
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection.
Inez, can you,
I mean, prediction? Granted,
you
I
move.
mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good.
You're fond of these personalized order prediction, are you?
I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on.
Huh. How accurate would you say the order predictions are?
I mean, if you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, what do you call it? Anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough.
So you say the order prediction have helped you?
You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, you know? Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already. Anybody needs me, I'll be right here patiently awaiting my latest.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you?
May Huffstutter said I should speak to you.
Oh, May, is it? You're on a first-name basis already? This is about the exclusion zone, correct?
The voice of this place wants to resettle her people.
Or that it only that simple, but she ignores essential variables of the equation. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril.
She seems ready to accept the responsibility for her actions.
Tell me, which of us has the title of administrant before their name? The responsibility is mine, as are the consequences. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold.
If you believe both sides will listen, then I'm in.
I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. It must work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started?
What can you tell me about the voice of the displaced?
I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that.
Earlier you said I was foretold. How does that work?
Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here.
So if I learn about everyone's concerns, I'll earn enough trust to resolve this dispute?
According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them. Form your own opinion. And when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
Our weekly selection of mathematical clues. Visit your local predictory.
the spread, illnesses, and eventual
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced.
My name is Marie de Rothschild,
Archivist Widmark suggests I speak to you about your work.
Well, if the archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine.
Sorry to say, but the displaced may not have noticed either.
With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me.
I bet you're more stressed than you let on, but you seem happy about it.
The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources.
All right, I'll leave you to it.
Appreciate you respecting my time. Yes.
Show me what you got for
You
sale.
may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
While TTD, movement no longer drains energy. Energy also drains 10% slower, increasing 30% slower with your science skill, increasing to 30% slower. Wow, that's pretty good.
In a rare anti-choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected
by the
with
law.
Microscopic parasite.
It's you.
Parasite, or PBP, as it is. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine the PBP life cycle.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help.
The berries are exposed to the host
You want my help? You don't even know me.
trigger their hatching.
True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself.
As spiky worm-like creatures with
Right, I've heard it all before, but what does that have to do with me?
Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me.
And they then seek out
What is it you need?
Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the seer predicted an outsider would find them.
What about me? I fancy myself something of a medical professional.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks.
Before I get that, I had another thing.
How can I be of service?
It's a wonder the Auntie's Choice.
What do you make of the conditions?
As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out.
To such a degree that the eventual correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling
Can I do anything to assist with that?
Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
Can I see your wares?
Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge. But my prices are fair.
Antibiotics. a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient, except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles, according to craft literature. However, given the purple berry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs
You're right.
to find
The
ways
universe
to
does not orient
remove
itself
the
toward
parasite
fairness.
from the berry.
But it's my firm belief
A
humanity
variety of
can do
methods were
better.
tested and
All
found
evidence to the
effective.
contrary.
But they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries. So these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on saltuna, a crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna, was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat killed the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PBP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without affecting their texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers, so Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purple berry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our ordered fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
You're just listening to next week's #1 hit. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Eh. Oh, you can't make it right here? That'd have been so good. That'd have been such a nice quality of life. Yeah, it's 0 for a reason. Resistance versus range damage is insane. Oh. First lurk Goose. Crouch move speed. Yeah, we don't need that. We already move so fast.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting
Damage
soothing
resist
tunes
while
for your audio
crashing.
canal.
Why don't I
and
see those?
Enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. Though our current cordiality with Auntie's Choice continues to hold, remain certain that every department stands united and ready should conflict recommence. Why, simply recall the precision of our air defenses against low-flying craft, augmented by our Sears technology combined with the deft skills of our exemplars. This keen partnership not only forced our rapacious rivals to drop supplies from high orbit, it sent their ground troops scampering into scattered lines of hastily dug trenches. So much for their baseless conjecture that bookish theoreticians, a tidier paraphrasing of their colorful invective, couldn't hold their own on the battlefield.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
Continuing as predetermined. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Okay, there you go.
5, 3, 5, 8, 9, 7, 9, 3, 2, 3, 8, 4, 6.
What?
2, 6,
These are just numbers.
3, 3, 8, 3, 2, 7, 9, 5, 0, 2. 8, 8, 4, 1, 9, 7, 1, 6, 9, 3, 9. 9, 3.
You know what?
7, 5,
We'll switch that out for the Rattler.
8, 2, 0, 9, 7, 4, 9.
Switched off a double barrel. Yeah, all pistols should be pretty silent now. Hopefully.
Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct?
Jesus Christ. Okay.